They put two and two together. Hey there. As you may have guessed by the title, we have a really huge task ahead of us today. And to only make matters worse, I've already recorded this, but then realized that I had lipstick on my teeth, so I get to do this twice. Every now and then I do an episode of, let's say, a larger series where I go through a history of an influencer's scandals and controversies. So far, I've done one on Gabbie Hanna, and I've also done one on James Charles. And here recently, of course, the hot topics have been around Trisha Paytas. And I have recently recorded a couple of videos talking about her recent drama, and at one point decided that I didn't want to feed into it anymore. I didn't want to pay much attention to the situation at hand anymore, and that in general I was done giving Trisha the attention and supporting her in any way. However, several of you have pointed out to me that I should do one of these histories on Trisha's career so that we can not only really take a look at her entire career and her entire presence here on the YouTube platform and really every single scandal she's gotten herself into, all of the drama, all of the controversies, and so that we could do so without digging through her content ourselves, so that we could have that all in one place where it's just one comprehensive look at Trisha Paytas and what she has done up to this point. So that's what I decided to do. And I cannot express to you guys how much dumber I feel than I did a week ago. So we are here to take a look at a history of Trisha's scandals and controversies, and to be quite transparent, I fully expect this video to be demonetized and or copyright claimed immediately. So if you would like to support my channel, you can subscribe, turn on notifications, like, comment, all that jazz. If you don't want to do any of that, totally understood. Thanks for stopping by anyway. This is a super quick reminder to like and subscribe if that's something you want to do. If that's not something you want to do, I'm sorry for the interruption. I'll shut up and start talking now. But I would recommend subscribing with notifications if you are interested in the coming episodes. And what I mean by that is that, as one could guess, a history of Trisha's scandals on YouTube and really a look at her career on YouTube will take a very long time. So we're not going to be able to break this all down in one video. I don't think any of us has the brain power to sit down and deal with all of that. I don't think I have enough storage space for that much footage. Nor do I have the emotional and mental capacity to do that all in one go. So this will be likely a 3-part series or so. So if you are looking forward to seeing the episodes to come, then I would recommend subscribing with notifications, or at least following me on social media to see when those episodes come out. But I am expecting them to be about once a week or so if I stay on track. So with this first episode, or Trisha's early career, we're really going to be looking at about the first 7 years or so of her time here on YouTube. And then when we get to the second episode, we're going to be looking at probably 3 or so years, which I will call her mid-career. And the last episode is really only going to cover probably about 2 years. And I think it's important to be mindful of those time frames and what they look like, because the amount of content that is in each episode will only go to show you how progressive and more frequent this drama is becoming as time goes on, as each day goes on. And what you're going to find with each of these situations when I give my commentary on them, I am going to try to take somewhat of a neutral stance. There are going to be some situations where I completely disagree with Trish and whatever she's done in that situation, or I may side with Trisha given this situation. And I encourage you to try to do the same, to look at each situation individually. And then at the end of this whole series, we can kind of come together and make a decision as to whether we believe Trish should be canceled or should she be given yet another chance. But Regardless, I want that to be your choice at the end of the day. So I am not going to be asking you to follow or subscribe to Trish, nor am I going to be asking you to unfollow or unsubscribe to Trish. I am not going to be giving video credits to Trish to send you to her page, nor am I going to ask you to sign a petition to get her off the platform. All of this is independent of how I feel about her overall. I just feel that my aim here is to be more educational and give you guys the facts that you've asked for. And whatever advocacy we decide to take from this is up to you, the individual. That said, please do not assess my overall opinion of Trish based on my opinion of one situation. I encourage you to put your own thoughts and opinions down in the comments. And if a situation requires more context that you feel is necessary, feel free to add that context. I've said this before, I'm human. There's only so much information that I have at my disposal, and a lot of you may have more information to bring to the table, so I encourage you to do that. If there is a scandal that occurred during the time frame we're speaking about that I haven't covered, please feel free to enlighten us and to drop information down in the comments. That provides more information about additional scandals we may not know about in this video. That said, we are here to be critical of Trish. We are not here to hate on Trish. We are not here to hate on anyone else mentioned in any of these situations. We're not here to hate on me. We are not here to hate on each other. So if that's your vibe, if that's what you're here to do, I thank you for watching to this point, but it's probably now the time to click off and go elsewhere and take those comments elsewhere where they are welcome. But that is the one caveat with my channel, is that we don't accept hate comments on my channel. We are here to think critically, and we are here to be critical of people, and that's totally fine. We are respectful, intelligent people, not hateful people. Now, if at any point you hear me say to put a pin in this, just keep in mind the behavior that we are talking about at that time, because we will likely see something very similar come up in the future. So, who is Trisha Paytas? Trisha is a public figure, as we know. She is from Illinois and moved to California to live with her father about halfway through her high school career. And at 18, right after graduating from high school, she moved to LA with the sole desire to become famous. At the time, she became a stripper and an escort to support herself, while she hustled with fame as her destination.
You look like you work in Vegas.
Really? I know, I get that a lot. Someone thought I was a stripper or a porn star. I'm like, nope, I love Jesus. I'm not like that.
So, 2007, Trisha creates a YouTube channel under the name Blonde Sundoll 4 MJ as an ode to two celebrities that she loved dearly. She speaks about how much she loved Michael Jackson as a kid and wanted to incorporate his initials into her username. But her earlier videos were heavily focused on Quentin Tarantino and her love for him and his movies.
My ode to Quentin Tarantino. Mr. Tarantino, oh, I love you so. I cannot really rhyme for love, but I guess I'll give it a go.
They consisted of a lot of raps and poems dedicated to Tarantino, as well as countdown videos to his upcoming film, Inglourious Basterds. But over time, her channel did evolve into something that focused more on advice around beauty and fashion, as well as comedy.
Here's my joke. So, big time producer or director, Steven Spielberg, is doing this nice action flick, and it's all classic composers. He has Bruce Willis, Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger ready to start it. Arnold Schwarzenegger, what about you, babe? He's like, I'll be back. Fake, it's like Bach as in like the composer.
Story times, collaborations, and so on. And we soon saw how much of a shameless self-promoter Trish was with all of her television show appearances, as well as appearances in movies and music videos. Some people have been turned off by this, and some people really respect her for her game. So just to take a look at some of the TV show appearances she's made, she has been on Ellen, Celebrity Name Game, America's Got Talent, Dr. Phil, My Strange Addiction, Room Tour Challenge, and Celebrity Big Brother UK. So in 2010, light was shed no pun intended, about Trisha's tanning addiction, and really whether or not she actually had one. She was, of course, on My Strange Addiction for her tanning addiction, but she later said on YouTube that she isn't really a tanning addict. On the show, however, she did talk about visiting multiple salons in a day, in addition to spray tanning and laying out in the sun.
The law in California states you can only tan once every 24 hours. But the way I view that law is it's only once every 24 hours at that salon. Well, currently I'm a member at 6 salons, and I go to all of them if I have something big going on. To me, it's almost disgusting if someone doesn't have a little color because the sun is healthy. The majority of people in California, it's such a disappointment because they're not tan, and especially the girls because everyone's so like health conscious here, but it's like, you know, be tan. We're in California. It's such a bad reflection, I think, of the state and just of people in general.
So her appearance on My Strange Addiction does imply that she does have a problem and perhaps an addiction towards tanning. However, we do know how much Trish likes to be on TV. So we may never know the real truth around this addiction or lack thereof, but I don't know that anyone really cares at this point. In 2012, Trisha posted a video called Why I'm Voting for Mitt Romney. Now, this is not a political channel, so it is not my place to say whether you should vote for one party or another, but the reasons Trish gave for voting for Mitt Romney were very ridiculous, and her returning viewers quickly caught on that this was a troll video for the reasons she listed. Others, on the other hand, were infuriated by this video and her logic as these reasons got progressively more and more ridiculous and untrue.
So basically, one, Mitt Romney is super hot. Then another reason I'm gonna vote for Mitt, well, my kitten is named Mitts. So I think it's actually Mittens, but we call him Mitts for, you know, short. And for all those who are saying, like, Republicans don't like women or whatever, like, yeah, they do. They're married to him. So honestly, I could use some free Obamacare or whatever he's pitching out there, but I can't vote for him because he's going to take away my right to be a Catholic, which he basically already has, and it's turning into a tyranny like socialism like Mexico in the 1940s.
Looking at the like to dislike ratio on this video at 78K dislikes, I am inclined to believe that most people didn't know that this was a trolling video, and this is not the last time that we're going to see this sort of behavior from Trish. So if you're one of the people offended by her trolling videos, buckle up because there's just a lot more to come. So of course, I would like you to put a pin in this. In November of 2012, Trisha put out a music video called Kiss Kiss in which she plays a character named Trishii. Trishii is a Japanese Ganguro style pop star, or what is also called a gyru. And in the music video, as well as an accompanying vlog, Trish uses a very stereotypical voice and accent known among Japanese culture, as well as looks and styles and behaviors that are very stereotypical of the Ganguro lifestyle. Greeting her fans, arigato fan batos. But there is another layer of controversy with this whole situation beyond Trish's cultural appropriation. The Ganguro lifestyle itself is very controversial, as Ganguro translates to English as blackface. And looking at various photos of Ganguro girls, we can see why some people are very angered by the look and its likeness to the makeup used in minstrel shows from the early 1800s. So I will be placing some links down below that will go a little more in depth about the Ganguro lifestyle, some arguments for it, some arguments against it, so that you can really get a comprehensive look at what it entails and make your own decisions around it. But as it pertains to Trish, I've said this before, what else can I say? That's bad, Trish. Don't do that. That's bad. It was bad for at least two very important reasons, and I would have thought at the time that she'd be smart enough not to do something like this, but we all know that worse is to come. So of course, I want you to put a pin in this. So in late 2012 and early 2013, Trish collaborated with a creator by the name of NinaUnrated on a series of swap videos where the two sent each other packages filled with gifts that they'd picked out for each other up to a certain spend limit. When Nina talks about this time, she does express that she very neatly wrapped her gifts and did go above the spend limit each time as a gesture to thank Trisha for the exposure she was giving Nina at the time. However, in speaking to at least one of the packages Nina received from Trisha, Trisha apparently packaged this swap box, which was meant to be opened on camera, with 18 garbage bags specifically. But in addition, a lot of fans started to notice that items in the boxes sent to Nina were items from previous haul videos on Trisha's channel. So it was widely believed that Trish was kind of re-gifting or recycling items from her own personal shopping trips and sending them to Nina. One strong argument for this was that the girls traded sizes with each other. However, Trish sent Nina a pair of shoes that were a size 7 when Nina is either a 9 or a 9.5. And fans of both of them knew that Trish is a size 7 and that these were shoes she had bought for herself. So, of course, this sparked a lot of negativity sent Trisha's way, a lot of hate on her videos. So Trish did end up taking her side of the swap videos down, which started some sort of feud in and of its own, particularly on Twitter between Trish and Nina. According to Nina, Trish claimed that she was afraid of Nina, that she believed Nina was traveling from Las Vegas to LA with her ex-husband, who is an NFL player, to hurt Trisha in some way. She claimed Nina doxed her.
She told people that I got on a plane from Las Vegas, went to California with my ex-NFL ex-husband, right? She was lying on me and she knew she was lying on me. She went on the internet, she bashed me, she just told lies on top of lies. She went online and told people that I released her home address, that she didn't feel safe. I mean, when I tell you she trashed me, she trashed me.
And mind you, this is all from Nina's side of the story. I don't know if we ever truly heard Trisha's side. I will say, in searching for information around this situation, I did find a lot of videos where creators were very critical of Nina and spoke to their bad experiences with NinaUnrated. So I do question her credibility. Can I imagine Trish doing the things that Nina says Trish did? Absolutely. But is there a possibility that there's more to the story? I think so. Either way, I think this was very tacky of Trisha and really shows a lack of consideration for the people she is collabing with. We know that Trish has never been a very structured person. She has never been super respectful when it comes to her collaborations with others, but she had the means to go out and buy a thoughtful gift, and she simply failed to do so. Correction, she neglected to do so. In 2013, Trisha was on an episode of Dr. Phil in a segment called Girls Who Trash Girls Who Dress Sexy. And the title of this segment is pretty straightforward.
When she slammed girls who dress sexy, it sparked outrage.
They would tell me to kill myself.
And controversy.
If you're familiar with the format of these types of shows, there is typically two sides of the story with an antagonist on one side and then the protagonist defending their side. And Trish did say that she believed she was edited in a positive light. There was a man who spoke so angrily and passionately about women who dress sexy and provocatively like Trish that viewers, as well as I think Dr. Phil himself, came to believe that this man just hates women in general. So at the end of the day, Trish did look better in that situation, and that man did look like a fool. I should mention that this man on the other side of the argument did say that women who dress this way deserve to be raped.
What would trigger you to say she's a loose woman?
She's wearing the uniform of one.
You're going to decide what somebody should wear? This is censorship.
And let's be honest here. That's 2013. That may not sound like that long ago, but that was a time where this mindset that women should dress in a certain modest way, and if they don't, they are asking for it. That mindset wasn't that uncommon. This new wave of body positivity and sex positivity is still relatively new in our society. Whether or not Trish played a hand in this change, I'll let you decide. In 2015, Trish did an interview with Business Insider in which she talked about her success on YouTube. She admitted to dumbing herself down and playing this ditzy blonde and trolling for clicks. She uploaded a video in which she asked, "Do dogs even have brains?" And I will say that that video was a true internet gem. And if you haven't seen it, you're in luck because I'm going to put my favorite segment in this video right here.
Dogs are mammals, right? Yeah, dogs are mammals. They're humans, or no, they're not human. They're part of the animal kingdom that God created. I love you, Jesus. But then I wonder, like, okay, dogs can't talk. So do they have brains? Like, yes, they walk, but it's because we're telling them to walk.
To anyone who was offended by that video, I'm not even sure how you're coping with what's been going on with her in the past year or so. But this was around the time that Trish really cemented this brand of hers as the ditzy blonde girl. And she found that it worked. It was around this time that her music career started to take off, which was relatively successful when we consider who we're talking about here. And it was in May of that year that she released a song called Fat Chicks. And in speaking to Business Insider about why she wrote this song, and specifically these lyrics, she said, "No one comes right out and says it. Fat. It's like this taboo word that people do take offense to, including me at one point, but why? It's really just me taking that word that so many people describe me as and throwing it away. Like, I'm fat. Fat, fat, fat. Is that good now? Can we stop talking about that in every video I post and every picture I take?" So clearly Trisha was trying to take back the power of this word. And I think a lot of us can understand why. However, a lot of people were offended by her attempt to make light of such a derogatory term that is so hurtful to so many people. And again, this is not the first time we see this sort of behavior from Trish, so I want you to put a pin in this. It was in 2015 that Trish started to open up about her romantic and sexual relationships with celebrities. She has told us that she has met a ton of celebrities and that she has slept with most of them. Some of the names she's given us are Desperate Housewives actor Roger Bart, an entire baseball team, an entire hockey team, actors Crispin Glover, David Lipper, Jamie Kennedy, and Anthony Michael Hall. You may remember Anthony Michael Hall from his 80s teen movies The Breakfast Club, 16 Candles, and Weird Science. And if I'm not mistaken, they dated for about 5 years or so. So that was a legitimate relationship. This may or may not have been the start of Trisha's oversharing nature on YouTube, but I do believe it lends a hand to the attention that she tries to get from her audience by means of pretty cheap shots. And in this case, talking about her sexual exploits with D-list or below celebrities. In September or October of 2015, Trish was supposed to collab with a small creator by the name of Simply Nessa 15. Nessa was only 18 at the time and was very excited to fly out to LA to collaborate with a number of different creators, but specifically with Trisha Paytas, as she made very clear on her channel that Trisha was her #1 favorite creator.
But I was so excited to meet this person because this was like my favorite YouTuber in the entire world.
They had made plans to get dinner and make videos together one of the days that Nessa was there in LA. And as the time approached for their dinner date and collab videos, Nessa attempted to contact Trish by texting her over and over again, as well as trying to get through to Trish via Nessa's manager. Nessa has provided us with the receipts, which I will put here. Trish eventually said something along the lines of, "Oh, I didn't know we'd set up these plans." Even though it was about 2 hours before this was supposed to happen and she still could have made it happen, she didn't.
And then eventually, like 2 hours before our plans, they text me saying, you see, and nobody texted me, and I'm like,
So Nessa says that she did go back to her hotel room, called her mom, and basically spent the rest of the night crying. Nessa later went on her YouTube channel to upload a story time about this experience. She never mentioned Trisha's name specifically, but because her fans were following her on Twitter and other social media and knew that she was excited to go to LA to meet Trish, they put two and two together and figured that it was Trish Nessa was talking about, and such, sending a lot of hate and negativity Trisha's way. At which point, if I'm not mistaken, Trish demanded that Nessa take that video down and threatened legal action against an 18-year-old girl for a video that never mentioned her name.
In my video where I was talking about the story time, saying like, oh, like I was gonna meet up with this YouTuber and then they just completely ghosted me, I was so nice about it. You made me feel like shit. You made me feel like I wasn't important.
So in terms of this behavior of Trisha ghosting creators who have traveled to collaborate with her, you guessed it, I want you to put a pin in this. And that pretty much wraps up Trisha's early career when we're talking about the time frame from 2007 to 2015 or so. So I want to know about your thoughts of Trisha's time on the platform during that time. Did you watch her at any point in that time frame? What did you think of her videos, of her trolling videos, her advice videos, comedy, all of it? Did you watch any of that, and what did you think? And why did you watch it? I personally would say that I watched for a mix of reasons. Oftentimes I was pretty shocked by the person I was watching, but at the same time I oddly kind of liked her. So I think that confusion and trying to sort that out kept me coming back during that time. I found her to be an interesting person. I didn't know whether or not what I was watching was trolling or not. So I was interested to see how things would unfold and find out if this was just a character she was playing or if she really was who she was pretending to be. There were times where I found her content to be pretty hilarious and entertaining. There were other times where I just felt that it was mind-numbing and I felt like I needed to take breaks. And more or less, that is how my relationship with Trisha's content has gone over the years, with ebbs and flows. Times where I would watch her content and then times when I needed to take breaks, and then so on and so forth. So because I wasn't always watching Trisha, some of these controversies that she was involved in, I didn't know about until I did this research on these controversies. So that's it for now. We've got more interesting stuff coming. Like I said, if you are interested in seeing what comes next, either subscribe with notifications turned on or follow me on socials so that you know when that next video is posted. I want to thank you, the one person who's watching this who's not me. Thank you so much for coming back, watching to this point, and continuing to support me. Or maybe you're not here to support me. Maybe you are that one person, and I know you're out there, who has my notifications turned on just so that you can dislike my videos. But in a way, you are supporting me. So thank you too. I really mean that. That is a certain level of dedication that most of us cannot even understand. So for now, I'll catch you guys down in the comments. Bye.